Most people assume regular health checkups are always a good thing. But what if I told you that, after a certain age, some of these screenings could actually do more harm than good? Sounds surprising, right? But here's the truth. Not all medical tests are risk-free. In fact, some of the most common checkups offered to people over 70 can lead to unnecessary stress, false alarms, and even risky procedures. This isn't about being anti-doctor or anti-medicine. It's about understanding that as we age, the medical world has to adjust too. The one-size-fits-all approach to testing doesn't work forever, and sometimes doing less is actually the smarter, safer move. In today's video, we're diving into 5 common health screenings that seniors might want to think twice about. Tests that even experienced doctors often decline for themselves. We'll unpack why these screenings are still being pushed, what the real dangers are, and what safer, more appropriate alternatives might look like. Because you deserve medical care that respects your age, your experience, and your priorities. If you want to stay healthy without being overwhelmed, over-tested, or over-treated, this video is for you. We're not here to scare you. We're here to empower you with clarity and confidence. Let's get started. Number 1. The colonoscopy trap. Colonoscopy has been seen for years as the gold standard in preventing colon cancer, and for people in their 50s and 60s, it can be life-saving. But past 70, the risks start to climb, and the benefits start to fade, especially for those without symptoms or a family history of colon cancer. Here's why. Colonoscopy isn't a simple procedure. It requires full bowel prep, sedation, and insertion of a scope deep into your colon. For younger adults, that's a tough day. For older adults, the risks are higher, much higher. Bowel prep can cause severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalances. Sedatives can lead to confusion, dizziness, and falls that result in hospitalization. And then there's what happens if they find something small, like a slow-growing polyp. These typically take 10-15 years to become dangerous, if they ever do. But the moment one is discovered, it can lead to more tests, more scopes, even surgery. And for someone in their 70s or 80s, the risks of those follow-ups may far outweigh the benefit. Let me tell you about George. He was 82, active, sharp, no digestive issues. Still, he agreed to a routine colonoscopy. During prep, he became dangerously dehydrated. After the procedure, he was disoriented, fell that night, and fractured his hip. Months of rehab, medical bills, and pain followed. And the colonoscopy, it found nothing. This isn't about blaming doctors. They're following the playbook they were trained on. But medicine is changing, and we need to change with it. For people over 70 with no symptoms, it's completely reasonable to skip the colonoscopy and consider non-invasive stool tests instead. Remember, good care isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Number 2, the full-body scan. Mistake full-body scans can sound like a brilliant idea. Why not check everything at once, right? But for seniors, this kind of scanning can lead you down a dangerous road. CT and MRI scans are incredibly sensitive. They pick up every little thing, including harmless quirks and age-related changes that would never cause you a problem. But once something's spotted, a small nodule here, a shadow there, it sets off alarms. Suddenly you're scheduling biopsies, meeting specialists, even considering surgery, all for something that might never have mattered at all. That's the trap, overdiagnosis. It's when we find things that technically exist, but don't actually need to be treated. And for seniors, the fallout of these unnecessary treatments can be serious. Complications, hospital stays, long recoveries. Take Betty. She was 78, healthy, active, felt great. At a health fair, she got a discounted full body scan. It picked up a tiny lesion on her kidney, too small to cause symptoms. But the panic set in. Within weeks, she was in surgery. The result? Months of recovery and complications that changed her daily life forever. The truth is, full body scans are rarely covered by insurance unless there's a clear need. Most people pay out of pocket thinking they're buying peace of mind, but what they're really buying is a front-row seat to the over-medicalization of aging. So, what's the alternative? Trust your symptoms. Stay active. Get regular check-ins with a doctor who knows your history. That's more valuable than chasing down every shadow on a screen. If you've made it this far, comment number 2 below to let me know you're still watching, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Let's keep going. Number 3. The cardiac stress test dilemma. The treadmill stress test has been a go-to heart screening tool for decades. It's based on a simple idea: make the heart work and see how it performs. But once you're past 70, this test becomes a lot more complicated and, in many cases, misleading. Here's why. As we age, natural changes happen to the heart and blood vessels. Arteries get a little stiffer, electrical signals may shift slightly, and blood pressure can fluctuate more. But stress tests don't account for normal aging. They flag any variation which can lead to false positives, suggesting there's a problem when there isn't one. That false alarm leads to more tests, angiograms, catheterizations, sometimes even stent placements or bypass surgery. And those are not minor interventions. Especially in older adults, they carry real risks: bleeding, kidney damage, infections. Let me introduce you to George, another one. He was 74, no chest pain, no shortness of breath, just a routine checkup. His doctor ordered a stress test just to be safe. The results were inconclusive, so he was referred to a cardiologist. One thing led to another, and within a month he had an unnecessary angioplasty. He ended up in the ICU with complications and spent half a year in rehab. His life hasn't been the same since. These tests are powerful, but that power needs to be used wisely. If you're not having symptoms like chest pain, fatigue, or shortness of breath, there's often no benefit to routine stress testing. Instead, focus on proven heart-healthy habits: walking daily, eating well, staying connected, and managing stress. Wisdom isn't about doing everything, it's about knowing what's worth doing. Number 4. The routine colonoscopy revisited. We've touched on this already, but it's worth repeating. Routine colonoscopies past age 70 come with real risks. The sedation alone can lead to lingering confusion, especially in seniors. The bowel prep can cause dehydration, falls, and electrolyte issues. And the odds of a new, dangerous polyp appearing late in life, after you've had clean colonoscopies in the past, are surprisingly low. Eileen, a retired school teacher at 78, had clean screenings in her 60s and early 70s. Her doctor pushed for one more, just in case. That last test led to a perforated colon, emergency surgery, and a long hospital stay. She survived, but her energy and independence didn't. Sometimes caution isn't about fear, it's about wisdom, about asking, is this really necessary for me? If you're still here and this part of the video resonated, type number 4 in the comments. Your feedback helps more than you know. Let's wrap it up with one more. Number 5. The heart test. Again. Yes, we're circling back to stress tests, because it keeps happening. People over 70 with no symptoms are getting these tests and ending up in a whirlwind of treatments they never needed. Take Harold. He was 76, healthy, enjoying life. A routine stress test revealed a minor abnormality. That led to a stent for a blockage that wasn't even causing symptoms. Post-surgery, he had internal bleeding from the blood thinners and spent weeks recovering. There's no solid evidence that routine cardiac stress tests improve survival in symptom-free older adults. But there's plenty of evidence that the interventions they lead to can reduce quality of life. Instead of defaulting to the treadmill, ask, are you experiencing symptoms? Are you short of breath on walks, feeling chest pressure? If not, you're probably better off skipping the test. Final thoughts. Aging doesn't mean losing control. It means gaining the wisdom to ask better questions. In a system that often equates more testing with better care, it takes courage to say, maybe not, especially when your goal is to feel good, stay sharp, and protect your independence, not chase down every hypothetical problem. So ask yourself, is this test likely to change my outcome or just change my anxiety level? Take ownership. Ask your doctor tough questions. Be curious, not compliant. Because your health isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. If this video helped shift your perspective, let us know in the comments. Share one takeaway and how you'll apply it. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now, and give this video a like if it brought you value. Thanks for spending time with us today. We'll see you in the next one.